And I think
Right.
that is not what we're getting here. We're getting an indulgence in a misguided conception of love rather than some kind of realization about love.
But I mean, that's the whole
I
point
don't
of
see
the
how you're
love.
saying that's the whole point though, because when the Green Lanterns go up against someone like Ion, they don't act out like Ion. They overcome.
Well, that's because okay. So the whole thing about the Green Lantern is that Green Lantern is the centerpiece. It's will. Nothing. Everything else is nothing without will. Like you can't control it, but it's also like every. And the further you get out from Green, the more you get into the extremities of the emotional spectrum. And on the one end is red, and the other one is the Star Sapphires,
Right.
and they're the most uncontrollable emotions that you can have, like extreme anger and love.
This just seemed like,
It's love is like out of control.
and that's fine, but this just seemed uninventive then and uninspired because the same drive that's driving the Predator is the same thing that's driving Carol in that case, which is total, or what we get is like a very clear male female domination submission relationship going on. Yeah,
Disagree because like throughout the whole thing, she's talking to Hal, and she like the whole reason she became a Star Sapphire in the first place is because she wanted to help Hal and protect him. That's why she agreed to become a Star Sapphire. She wasn't forcefully made a Star Sapphire.
and
She
that's
agreed to it.
right, and that's like a dynamic, interesting version of love, and we don't get that here. We get her like actually, you get this strange kind of sequence where Hal's looking at her worriedly as she's like kissing this weirdo, which I don't understand what that was had to do with anything. It's
Well, I mean, like once like he wanted superficial love. Like a kiss was all that he was going to need to
I
feel love. He's some guy who's never been touched by a woman.
I understand, right, but I don't think that's love. That's
It's
my
not,
problem.
but love changes throughout time. Like the way Carol Pratt says like the way I've loved you has changed throughout our relationship.
No, no, I'm talking about, but I've gone back to Psycho, dude. I
Psycho
just
dude, well that's the thing. Like at that moment, that's all that he needed to do to feel love because he was completely he's been just had nothing ever, and so he had no idea what it was.
I think that's a pretty uninspired way of making him see what love is. And
It's uninspired.
that doesn't even attempt to resolve any of his obsessions. It's just indulging his obsession rather than making him see something about it
I mean,
objectively.
the problem there is that this is like all introduction. This is all introduction to what the predator is and what the predator's after. So we don't get any like with this guy. He's a thought and he's gone,
I
and
know, but
that
that's
is
just
part of the problem.
so.
It's if it was fleshed out in two issues, it would feel a lot more complete. Like I mean, the purpose of the kiss was to get to for Hal to see her kiss somebody to create that drama. Also,
I know, but that's still now. Then she's like a two-part object. She's the object of Hal looking at her, and she's the object of
exactly.
this guy
And
kissing.
see that's
So that's terrible.
but that's a good point. I mean, it's there. You have this dual objectiveness going on of Carol. Like Hal still sees her as his object, but Carol, and we're supposed to remember this. Like, there's a lot of things that happen in this that they reference, that we're supposed to remember from like past, like way in the past, like when she's inhabited by Star Sapphire, when by the
Right.
Predator and stuff like that. Um, and we're supposed to remember that she looks to Hal as her object also. That's what whenever she was inhabited by the Predator, that's what also was the whole point of that. She looked at Hal as as her object.
I know, but you're getting it from this top-down male perspective, and that's what you get in the cover too. And I feel like the cover is kind of encapsulating that perspective. I'd like to see more from her, and I think all the stuff you're saying about the actual arc makes a lot of sense because it is setting up all this stuff. We do get that moment with Hal, but I just would like to see it from a more like
It's
she lacks all agency, and I want to see it from her perspective.
yeah, the moment is too fast, and that there's so much lost in translation.
Yeah, it's just like a
That's
floppy resolution.
like if it was fleshed out a little bit longer, it would have been a lot better. Like we're supposed to get more stories of the Predator, but I mean like this could have been interesting enough if it was 2 issues.
It could have been interesting if the Predator was nude.
And had it
Hey, they've got Martian Manhunter running around in his like tidy
yeah,
not
but he's
whiteys.
green,
Yes, so
not pink.
what about Aquaman? He's
He's
off.
wearing clothes. He wears plenty of clothes.
There was a long period where he was chesty. I'm just saying we should strip Predator down to his chrome undies. He can keep the helmet and he can be running around. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, whatever.
I thought you for one would be up for male nudity.
Well, yes, I am completely. I'd love to objectify men.
Well, hey, let's do
Try
it.
all men in every comic book.
Let's do it.
I totally. Let's.
Code or something.
No.
Better than chrome outfit. It's horrible.
Yeah, that chrome outfit. Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see the we have the introduction. It'll be interesting to see when Predator actually inhabits somebody else. We'll see if it becomes. I want to see it as a force for good. I want to see that side of it because we really have only seen Predator as a force for evil,
But I think
or not
that's just
evil, but like
the way
one of those.
they have all these entities like Ion and Parallax. I just don't think he'll ever really be good.
I think he could be good. I mean, Carol, like I like that shot, the shot of like it wrapping itself around Carol.
It's creepy, yeah. Well, I'd
It's
like to
creepy, but
see.
it respects her, and I kind of like it's her pet, and I like that.
I like that a lot. I want it to have a better reason for respecting her, which is what I didn't get in this issue.
Okay, I can understand that. It's like it's hard. She like it's hard to think that she gets it when she like objectifies herself.
Yeah,
Understand that? Um, and she talks a big game, but we'll see what happens. Like I'm really curious to see how she's going to react to being labeled queen.
I think you're right about that one.
I think I am. Shut up. You don't know me. I'm not a queen. All right, I think that's a good place to leave
I think so too.
it.
Oh, I think should I just stop?
Yes.
How do I do that? I guess if should I just close?